He was voted the winner of Big Brother Season 19, and since then, he's made several appearances on the challenge. So Josh Martinez, the latest eliminated contestant of the Challenge USA, joins me now. Josh, thanks for taking the time to speak with me. How are things?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Honestly, it's a little tough. It's a little rough, if I'm being honest. Just reliving the whole thing, it's really hard, man. I think that loss for me, while I want to take the high road and be like, oh, I'd be all positive about it, it was a really tough loss for me. So yeah, it's been getting through these interviews has been tough trying to get over that and move on. But yeah, we're getting through it.
Yeah, I appreciate both the transparency and vulnerability with that. So, Josh, how would you say that this season of the Challenge USA compared to your former stints over on the flagship on MTV?
Um, I think favorite season by far. I think
Ooh.
that one, it felt really good to come. I watched season one and I felt like season one was so good, but I did feel like there was something missing. And not necessarily me. I just felt like it didn't feel like the challenge, if I'm being honest with you. So to get the call, I was so excited, but then to see the vets that they brought in, and a lot of them were my friends, it just felt right. And I think that we brought what the challenge is known for, which is just the energy and the chaos and the competitiveness. Um, so yeah, I was really excited, but I think that this was just, I really came into the season and I told myself, in the past, I've always played for my friends and I've always put people before me. And I was like, this time around, I'm just going to really do what's best for me. Did it pay off? No, but I really just wanted in on the final and I was going to do whatever it took to get there. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, last night's episode, we see that picking a guy to go into the elimination was rather tricky. There was a lot of drama surrounding this. So I think something that confused a lot of the viewers on your end was that you swore to Bananas on your grandfather's life that you would not vote him in, and then you still did. So why did you do that?
Yeah. Dude, honestly, biggest regret. I think my two biggest regrets from my whole challenge career, definitely the blow up with Fessy where he went home and that moment right there. And I think that was really hard to even sit through it. You know, to be honest with you, I was so torn. I was so torn between, like, when I had that conversation with Johnny, I was certain that I was not going to cross him. That was, you guys see, obviously, with there's only so much time that they have to show the episodes, but you see, like, let's say a 15-minute conversation from was literally all day. You're talking about from like 1 p.m. to like late at night. So it was an all day thing, and I was just back and forth between Fessy and Johnny the whole day. I do regret it. I wish, one, that I didn't swear on my family, but I felt like I wasn't gonna go that route. And then to have turned on Johnny, that was such a bad move on my end. I think that, if I would have gone the easier route and voted for Corey, I think I would have made my first final. But the reality is, at that point, me and Corey were good also, and I didn't want to cross Corey. So I was torn. I was picking between my friends. I felt like no matter what, I was going to hurt a friend. I was going to lose a friend. So it was a really tough spot. I just wish I would have gone about it differently. I went against kind of like my morals and how I'm used to playing. And I truly, and I've said it, I feel like I lost myself, and I got so caught up in just like so desperate and like, I want in on the final, I'm going to do whatever it takes, that I truly lost myself. So I think that that's something that, one, I would never do again, but like, I can't beat myself up about it. I just got to like kind of learn from it and move on. But yeah, it's hard. And you know what? It's gonna sound crazy, but I'm kind of glad that it was me down in the sand, because if Johnny would have left and I would have crossed him and then he would have gone home, oh, I would have felt 10 times worse.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so yeah, that's tough, man. It's just like, I think that's what the game gets the best of you, and I think in that moment it did.
Yeah, well, and everything is a life lesson, which is nice. So, a lot of fans know this, but you and Fessel actually have a very genuine friendship outside of the challenge house. So, what was it
Yeah.
like ultimately having to go up against him in this elimination?
Oh, sucks. He's one of my best friends. From the whole thing, I think, Casey and Fessy have become two of my best friends. And those are two people, I mean, everybody in the house knows that too. He's literally my number one, like an older brother, dude. He's been so good to me. So it was really hard. I was in shock. I literally, once I heard my name, it's like, all right. You know what's so crazy? I kind of felt it. I
Mm,
felt walking into the sand. There was something, it was so uneasy and unsettling. And I kind of felt it, but you go into a state of shock, and then from there it's just like, dude, now I need to face off against not only my best friend, but one of the biggest dudes in the hall, bro.
Yeah.
So it's not ideal, but it was really tough, and it was sad, to have played the game that I had played
Hmm.
so good to that point, like socially and just the connections that I had, to then just see my game crumble
Hmm.
uh the way that it did. It's a tough loss. So
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be a lot to process. Now, as I said
um,
earlier, you have played several seasons of the challenge now. So walk me through those emotions of falling just short of competing in your first final.
it's hard. I truly saw myself in the end, and I think that I did everything that I had to do socially in the game. While I may not get the credit for it, the reality is, like, I never stopped playing. I was in on every single game conversation. I was in on every single vote. I knew the way everything was going to go down, and I always felt good. I was always protected. People say that, oh, it's because they think it could beat you and all this stuff. And the reality is, a lot of people benefited. The vets benefited from me having for them having me. For me, Fessy and Michelle to be in that game, we were kind of the link for the MTV vets to the CBS crew. So, like, a lot of people want to discredit my game, but the reality is, I'm really proud of the game that I played. Obviously, in the end, it didn't all work out, but I could walk away from the season and say, I left it all out there, gave it my all. I had a good run and just learned from it, and hopefully the next time I have better luck.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Now, my final question for you, this is really just an observation, but I feel like you are often seen as an emotional player in this game. And I feel like viewers on social media
Observation.
I feel like the viewers kind of tend to dog on you for this on social media. So what would you say to that?
I've been doing TV for 6 years now, and one thing that I've stayed true to is my emotions and that, how I feel. And while people love to dog me for that, the reality is that that's just who I am. In the beginning, it did get to me my first few seasons. That really did bother me, because I felt very misunderstood. But I'm at the point where I'm 29 now. I don't care. I think that, I play with my heart, and I do care about these people. I build strong relationships. The type of person that I am is that, I genuinely love to connect and make friendships and build strong relationships. So, like, for people to say, "Oh, you're such an emotional person," it's like, well, yeah, you're not lying, and I don't care, and I can't play for. I'm at the point where I'm so misunderstood. I get so much hate, and but the people that love me, that's what I focus on, and the people that send positive energy my way, that's what I put my energy towards, and I'm at the point where I just don't care, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna change. And do I cry a lot? Yeah, maybe sometimes it's a lot, but I stay true to me. So
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. And I think there are a lot of viewers that respect that about you. So, Josh, thank you so much for being yourself, coming in, proving to everyone what you can do in these games. Congrats on a great season, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one.